Staying on. Alright. I just got back from doing some business and whatnot, taking care of some things. And I come home to the story of the Nintendo 2DS. What? Okay, for those who might not know what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I'm talking about because this is like, I guess to me at least, it's worldwide news. But it's very strange for Nintendo to be releasing a new handheld despite their current home console, the Wii U, failing so badly at the moment. Now, granted, not everything Nintendo's put out has been a market success, Virtual Boy being the most prominent example of that, and the Game Boy Micro following. But it's very interesting the way that they're trying to sell this. They're trying to introduce the 2DS as a new addition to the 3DS family. But what's the point? The 3DS already has an option that you can turn off the 3D. Look. Hang on. It has a slider. So if there's anybody who has a problem with 3D, that's why they made this feature. Nintendo got it right off the bat when it came with the 3DS because of that option. You didn't have to play every game forcefully on 3D because it wasn't needed. But for them to have the gall to go out and put out a new handheld, despite there being already a current lineup for the 3DS that everyone's looking forward to, it's mind-boggling. Why don't you guys secure the Wii U first and make sure it's not syncing? Because UK retailers, if you guys don't follow gaming news or news in general, there's some UK retailers that aren't even going to be carrying the Wii U anymore come September because of the poor sales. And that's terrible considering that Nintendo's always been a powerhouse in the gaming industry. Sure, not because of innovation, but because of familiarity with the name and the brand. But the 2D is interesting. The design in itself is a weird choice. Nintendo hasn't had a device or handheld gaming console type, whatever you like to call it, since the Game Boy Advance. And the Micro being that one exception. But everything else has been a foldable handheld. The DS, the DS, the SP, the DSi, the 3DS, the 3DS XL. So why go back to those roots, especially having two screens that I'm pretty sure are going to be costly to replace if you send it to Nintendo, especially with the warranty. Why would you trade in a 3DS that already has the option to play games in 2D for a new one just because it's up to date, it's the newest thing on the market? My personal take is that it's pointless. Everyone knew from the beginning and the get-go that the 3DS, the 3D aspect of it, was just a gimmick. Nintendo themselves said that the 3D isn't forced, it's intentional, just to give you a new depth for playing. Sure, they were the first people to create 3D without glasses, and for that they'll always have their hands up and applause for everyone. But they have to keep moving forward. They had to sell it now. And see, why is it that this thing is becoming so prominent? The design in itself is weird. It's slanted like a piece of cake. And if you ever cut cake in that shape, you know that it's good. If it's cake, you eat cake, and that stuff gets smaller and smaller. But to make a handheld that's literally the same dimensions as a slice of cake, slanted, it's awful. How are you going to put that in your pants? Especially nowadays that people put pants that are skin tight like spandex. It's a weird business venture that they're going with this, and I do hope it sells well. I'm pretty sure every Nintendo addict is going to be going out day one and buying it. Now there is an interesting thing that they said. They said that the new Pokemon games X and Y will be somewhat bundled with these or released along the lines with that. And the price range isn't that good or bad either, because It's still at $129.99 USD. I'm not sure about what the other territories, UK, Australia, are. I'm pretty sure a lot more bumped up the price. But it's interesting because it's the same price as the current 3DS. Why would you go and buy that new one when you lose a feature? The 3DS in itself already has 2D play, but also gives you the opportunity to play in 3D in case you ever had that urge to. I don't know why you would. It's not that good, and many games don't even implement it that well. But those are just some of my thoughts on it. I would like to know what you guys think about it because it's a very interesting new console-wise decision. Is Nintendo doing something good with this, the 2DS, or are they realizing now that the Wii U, there's no hope for it, so you're like, you know what? Fuck it, we're staying with handhelds. To me, honestly, that would be a good decision because Nintendo's always going to be superior when it comes to handheld titles. Console-wise, never, because usually they only have one or two first-party games, and that's usually Mario games, which are getting very boring at this time. Me playing Mario's being one of the first games I ever played. It's getting very still repetitive, and two being Donkey Kong. No one likes Donkey Kong anymore. It's a good character. He has a good cast of characters that back him up throughout the games, but it's not enough to sell a console. They had to bring back franchises that people have been wanting more. Metroid, the last Metroid game we had was Other M, and that was even good. That was even a good game story-wise, but gameplay was pretty solid. Since Team the team behind Ninja Gaiden, was the one who did it, and as well as what was another one? That's it. The last game before that was the Prime Trilogy, was just a rehash of the games that came out for the GameCube back in 2003 and 4. And before that was Metroid Zero Mission and Fusion, which came out nearly when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. That was nearly a decade ago, a decade or a little more. That's sad for a franchise that was superior. That's what sold the SP and the Game Boy Advance, the new Metroid games. Why don't they do that for the 3DS, or even better for the Wii U, since that's failing so bad? And Star Fox. I played Star Fox 64 when I was a kid with my friend. I wanted to buy the GameCube one, but then I realized it was nothing about Star Fox. You play with dinosaurs and all that. I don't want to play that. I want to play Star Fox. They've been rehashing Star Fox 64 for nearly 8 years. We need a new Star Fox game, a true Star Fox game. So Nintendo, if you ever watch this, do it. And that doesn't go to mention there's many more franchises that Nintendo does have to restore, because Mario and Donkey Kong are not going to sell. Wario, I've been waiting for Wario Land 5 since Wario Land 4 came out back in like 2003. Nintendo, what are you going to do with Wario Land 5? He needs a new game. Waluigi, start a franchise with Waluigi. Everyone wants to know what's up with him. Is he just another carbon copy of Luigi with the Wa at the front? Or can you make him a unique character? But those are my 2 cents. If you want to hear any more, just let me know down below. I wouldn't mind hearing from you guys as well. What do you think? 2DS, a good decision or a bad decision? Put your thoughts below.